A strong, independent media is a pillar of our democracy. It's one of the key foundations of a free and open society. And be warned, we shouldn't assume that anything is forever, especially when it's left untended. None other than Ronald Reagan said this 30 years ago. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on. Journalism is part of that freedom. Journalism is designed to question authority and the status quo. It's obligated to show the inequities and the unfairness and corruption in our society. Journalism is the vehicle to speak truth to power. You know, my friend Diana Swain, she's our senior investigative reporter, likes to say, we can't solve a problem that we don't know exists. She's right, of course, and it's the job of the journalist to find those problems. It's not our job to find solutions. Our job is about uncovering something people don't know about, that they should know about, and then giving them all the information to let them make up their own mind about what to do with it. What is a society without information? What is a society without truth? So what do we do about that as we move into the future? We fight. We fight as a society which believes we have the right to know the truth. We fight as journalists to make sure we find the truth. You know, I think back to that very first press conference that Donald Trump held as president-elect. I don't know whether you remember it, but he set up in New York, the Trump Tower, and there was a table beside him that had all these books on it, folders, boxes. They were full of his divesting from his company. Now, he wouldn't let journalists look at any of these folders, but journalists took his word that that's what was in there. A few moments later, he had a news conference, same room. A reporter from CNN asked a question, but was berated by Trump. Trump looked at him and said, "You're fake. You're CNN, you're very fake." Now the reporter, his name's Jim Acosta. When he was ignored by Trump, the newser continued with the clamoring from all the other journalists, "Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump." And of course, that's the job of each of those journalists, to get their question asked, to get any substance, any modicum of information they can for their organization and their audiences. But imagine this for a moment. What if, after Trump had refused to answer Acosta's legitimate question, that the room stopped? Everyone fell silent. That every reporter stayed in their seat, pen, paper, and portable device in hand, refusing to ask a question until Acosta had been answered. Imagine that. Imagine the message that would have been sent. Imagine the shift of power. Imagine what Trump would have done then. Unrealistic? Probably. Irresponsible? Maybe. Perhaps it's all a little too Pollyanna for our cutthroat, scoop-obsessed, need-to-be-first world. But what isn't unrealistic is that as media organizations, we do need, at times, to support one another. We need to stand up for our profession when it's under attack and be able to back it up with solid journalistic practices and principles. Simple advice, but it matters more now than ever. Journalism is not a popularity contest. It's not about who likes you. Don't confuse trust with like. I don't really care if you like me. Really, I don't. But when I tell you something important, do you believe me? That's the only thing that I want. That's the only thing we as journalists should want, to be trusted, to be believed. Because I'll tell you, I don't do this job because it's easy or fun, and neither do the colleagues I respect at the CBC or elsewhere. We do it because it's important. We do it because you need to know what's happening in our world. We do it because, again, we can't solve problems we didn't know existed in the first place. We need to be brave. We need to be strong. Because when we do, we allow our viewers and listeners and readers to feel brave and strong with the knowledge that we've helped give them. Courage is contagious. I use that phrase the day I got my honorary degree here at Carleton. Courage is contagious, and we must all be courageous.